So the arrow ended up stuck in this sapling here. So we see right here we got great blood. Look down on the ground, you got great blood. There's a little bit of lung tissue in here. You can tell. Really made a great shot on this one. So this blood trail should not be too hard. Got some blood here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, we got blood over here. So he's heading up this way. Let's see. Which way do you go from here? A lot of leaves falling, so you really got to take your time. Just look ahead of you so you don't accidentally step on it, turn it over, smudge it, anything like that. But you can see that's the last blood right there. So you just take your time. Take your time. Oh, there we are. Okay. Got some more blood over this way. Okay. Just keep looking. It'll be there. Keep looking. The leaves are all wet, so it's going to take a little time. I'm sure once we spot it, with a shot like that, it ought not to be too hard. Just step out a little bit, keep looking. Aha, here we are. Okay, so remember, we hit it right there. He went that way, turned directly this way, and there we are. There's some more lung tissue there, and he's starting to bleed pretty good. You see the blood there? Let's take a look here. Ah, here we go. There's some more. Now, it's not always necessarily the blood you want to look for. Like, there's more there. But you can see that hard step right there he took. And here we are. Again, right back on the blood trail again, right here. Okay, yep, right there. So at this point, I know because the blood is on both sides of this trail that the deer is bleeding out of both sides. So I definitely got a pass-through shot. I mean, we kind of knew that because of the way that arrow's stuck in that tree, but you never know. So here's some more. And let's see, which way did he head from here? I had to guess I would say that way, but is that blood there? Yep, there's some on that right there. So, aha, here we go. There's some more. Oh, now we're getting, this is called hemorrhagic shock. He's starting to bleed out really well. I've only gone about 10 yards maybe. You can see the blood trail all through here. Oh yeah, real good blood trail. Let's take a look. Oh yes, now I'm just going to continue to look ahead of myself because as you can see, he's bleeding out pretty hard. Now from here, oh yes, you can see again, right up through here. It's not a great blood trail. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's consistent. And at this point, from watching him, I already knew he jumped pretty good, so he was on the move. And then up in here, you can see again, looks like he ducked under this blowdown here. Yep, you can see through there. Now I'm not gonna go under that because I have an easier way to go. I'm gonna go around this way. And he ducked under that blowdown. There's some blood there. And here and headed up through. Up right here, good amount. He's just still leaking. But he's definitely bleeding real well. From here, yep, see, now you see you have blood here and blood here and here. That lets you know, again, that that deer is bleeding out of both sides of that lung cavity. More. Oh yeah. As it starts to get like a highway like this, it's a really good sign. It should be a fairly easy track. Of course, this track, it's damp out and everything's wet, so this blood is over an hour old now, so it's starting to blend in a little bit, but it's still pretty easy to spot. And here we go. He's bleeding out pretty good. And here, let me give you a point. Now, we don't have a tremendous amount of blood, this whole blood trail, but we do have quite a bit. Not great, what I would call, but fairly good. But this is why you wait. Because that deer did not go more than, at the most, we're gonna say 50 yards from where I shot it. But had I got up and looked for this deer right away, I could have pushed it up out of where it laid down. Adrenaline kicks in, and then it goes on what some people call a death run. And they run a long way, and sometimes not bleeding that well because either they're already have a lack of blood or a lot of it still is remaining in the cavity. But as you can see, the deer's right there. We'll continue to follow this blood trail though, just for practice, and you know, sometimes you can always learn something. So we continued up this way. You can see the blood everywhere here now. And don't always look directly on the ground. Sometimes you'll see they'll pass by a tree like this, and you know, a deer is, they're not right on the ground like a ground squirrel or a rabbit. So sometimes you'll miss it, and it'll be up there on a sapling or something growing up out of the ground. But you can see there's a large blood trail here. And he went up this way. He stood here for a while. And then you could, like right here, you see this lung tissue? Right here, okay? He came back around this way. And at this point, there's not a heck of, oh yes there is. Okay, there he goes. Come down here. Okay, he went over here. Stood here for a few minutes. You can see he kind of staggered around a little bit. And then this is the end. So the entrance wound is on the other side. This is your exit wound. Got him right through both lungs. Nice, quick, ethical, humane kill. And I'm not a big horn hunter. I'm not a big, I could care really less about real big racks and all the trophies and all that stuff. Not so much my speed. I just like a big, nice, healthy deer. And that's exactly what we got right here. He's a spike horn, but he's obviously older. He might have just not grown any good sized horns this year, but you see he's kind of blunt nosed, so he's a little bit older. And he's a good sized deer, and he'll definitely eat well. Thank Mother Nature for providing me this deer. And whatever your belief is, mine personally is thank God for providing me the animals on this earth to harvest and eat. Now the work starts. I gotta field dress it, which starts by cutting around the anus there, getting that all open without cutting into the intestines. And then I will open the deer up, split the sternum a little bit there. And basically all you do is reach up inside up here, cut the esophagus from inside, and slowly work everything out. And the easiest way to do this, although I'm not going to be able to film it right now, at this point, as this ground gently slopes away this way, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually flip this deer over. I'm going to field dress it this way, but then when I flip this deer over, I will flip it this way, and everything will slide out towards the bottom, and it keeps things a little bit neater and without so much mess. Again, I'm Mike the Butcher. This is part of who I am, hunting. I also like to take a minute and thank those that came before me that taught me this amazing sport that I love so much. My dad, my brother, my grandfathers, my uncles. A lot of them aren't around anymore, but every time I come into the woods, I still see them. Because like one of my favorite artists, rock musician says, a song called Fred Bear, see that wind? And that wind out here in Mother Nature, all those people are still alive. They're still with us. All right, folks, thanks again. I'm Mike the Butcher. Oh, what a great morning in the woods. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for hitting that like button and subscribe. And if there's any questions or anybody wants any help with anything or wants to know anything about hunting or what I've learned over the years in the woods, please comment, questions, concerns. And of course, I can't help it, but you know this deer's getting butchered up with GIESSER knives, GIESSER Prime Line, because Mike the Butcher and GIESSER Prime Line are cut above the rest.